When we showed up at Sound City, what is this place? Because I don't know that we can make a record in here.
When you walk into Sound City, you either love it or hate it.
It looks kind of dumpy.
Brown shag carpet on the wall, that's the kind of thing that you would do to your van.
But walking down the hallway and seeing all of those platinum records on the wall, that's what I'm talking about.
Tom Petty,
Fleetwood Mac,
Neil Young, man.
Cheap Trick,
Chili Peppers,
Pat Benatar,
Guns N' Roses,
Nine Inch Nails, Foreigner,
Rat,
Johnny Cash.
Metallica.
Dude, how many amazing albums have been made there?
Hey guys, this is Jasmine, and this is my week 2 emotional storytelling on documentary Sound City. I actually first came across this back in 2013. It stuck out to me because it was actually, I read a lot about it, and I was seeing a lot of news articles pop up and videos, and I knew who the producer was, Mr. Dave Grohl, and I figured that, you know, since it was in my reach and I was doing a paper on what inspired me at the time, I figured I would give it a watch. I am a huge advocate of the arts and rock. I call myself a rock music enthusiast, and I take great interest in documentaries. And at the time, I was a student at Full Sail, and I had been getting used to the curriculum in my school and my learning style. I had also been going through a very, very rough culture shock and a transitioning in my life at the time. So this documentary struck me not only because of the center of it and the topic of it, which was a very famous music studio, Sound City, but because of the energy and the ambulance giving off by the people who were being interviewed. I recognized a lot of the participants, and much of them were artists that I had listened to and embodied growing up. And this movie also inspired and motivated me in a way at the time that was really needed the most. It gave me a more like a form of nostalgia, if you would, that I could really relate to. This is a favorite of mine because, well, for one, I am a very free thinker, and I am constantly reflecting on everything that I create or that I say or that I concoct in my mind. And this movie was a favorite of mine because the documentarian and producer Dave Grohl is such a big idol of mine. Because he embodies so many characteristics that I see in myself and what I look for in others, because he's very comforting and genuine. And I get to see so many familiar and idolized faces in music and entertainment that create this energy that you don't have to be present to actually feel it, that you interpret it through their faces, through their reactions, and through their words. And I relate so much of the storyline and get to see a side of that kind of world that is so personal with both the interviewee and Dave Grohl. This documentary acts as its own rubric and outlet for me, and I get to indulge in my passion every time I watch it because it's its own narrative story, and it represents what I will be helping to create in the future. Because I write and I produce and I make, stories and videos, and I love documentaries. It inspires me to travel and learn and accomplish more, and not to be afraid to fail on anything and everything possible that I can in my life and in my career, because I see it all and I reflect back through the characters in the documentary. This film, it shows the true spirit can never really be destroyed, and that one crazy idea or dream can change the industry forever, much like many tools and creations that we use as students here at Full Sail, or even films that many of you have seen, that have been so outrageous and so out there, but they stick with people forever, and that lead the path for so much more to be done. And a much more personal note, it also inspires me to take more chances and more time for myself to create my craft instead of just breezing through it, and to never let that idea that I get in my head be a second thought, that to never be afraid of it and build upon it and go for it, because I am capable of anything, even if I'm giving so little to work with, like Dave Grohl was, in the start of his career.